welcome to Talkappella. We're back. It's been a long, long time. And by we, I don't just mean me, and I've missed you all dearly, but Brian! Brian's
Alicia, we
back!
are back.
Brian's back!
Oh my goodness. Oh, this is so crazy and wild at the same time.
How
My
are
goodness.
you?
I'm good. How are you
I'm
doing? It
good.
feels
I'm good. I'm
if
still in
yeah.
Utah. You're still in Texas.
Still in
And I
Texas,
mean,
living life.
I'm even better because we're back.
Oh my gosh.
This
I
is
can't believe what's
this
happening.
this is so exciting. So Brian and I have been
Yeah.
talking about really
Mhm.
bringing it back, and we're so excited to be with you today. We do have a new format for the show. We're doing
Mhm.
a little bit shorter episodes, but we're going to be talking about we have specific segments that we want to discuss. So we'll have a segment that we discuss for each episode. And today we want to discuss, we're calling it Freshly Brewed,
Mm.
some trending things that we've seen in the acapella community, stuff that, or maybe something related to pop culture. I mean, stuff that we've just noticed at least. So I mean, I can start. So I went to an acapella show. When was it? It was like a week ago, I think, 10 days ago, week and a half. And it was, of
Okay.
course, I'm sure you can guess who it was.
Noteworthy if I were to take a
It
random
was
guess.
it was noteworthy, and
How did I know?
it was actually a combined show with Vocal Point.
Ooh,
Yeah,
okay.
and it was it
Nice.
was it was it was a good show. It
Yeah.
was up in Salt Lake. I went with another noteworthy alum, and we there were some things that we liked. There were some things that we weren't so sure about. And
Hmm.
maybe this is a generational thing for us as millennials, but there were a couple things that I noticed that I kind of want to chat about a little bit.
Ooh,
So
I'm excited to hear.
yeah,
Let's
I mean,
go.
one of the things that I've noticed just in acapella in general from shows that I've gone to in the past, videos I've seen from groups, is more complex choreography.
I
So
like that. Yeah. It used to be very simple.
it
Like at
used to
least,
be it used to be really simple, but the focus was for it to be
yeah.
effective.
Right, exactly. That's what
Yeah.
the judge is always looking for,
Yeah.
when you're going to these competitions.
Right.
Yeah.
And I think that's probably still a thing
Hmm.
um with with maybe ICCA and the judging and the rubrics that the judges are going off of. But I noticed there's a lot more movement on stage. There was a guy who did a backflip.
What?
He to be clear, he was not singing while he did said backflip.
Okay. That would have been
But
impressive.
had he been singing during said backflip, I would have been, I was already
Hey,
pretty blown away by the show, but
style points. Yes.
yeah, I mean it was pretty impressive. So I'm curious as to what you've seen as far as choreography goes over, I guess, the last few years
Yeah, it's
from when we
so
were in it.
I know. I'm thinking back to my time when I was in a group and like we weren't like super stiff or anything like that, but we were definitely more like very regimented in what we did. And like it was like almost over the top, like rehearsed and like just very basic steps. It wasn't like we had all these grand things. It
Are
was
you,
very theater-esque.
you mean like
It's
you said it was simple? Are
yes,
we talking
very.
like oh, what is that? What is the movie with Will Smith?
Oh,
Will Smith.
Hitch.
Yeah, we're talking about Hitch.
I knew
Like
you were talking about
you're
Hitch.
not grabbing anything off the grocery store
No,
shelves.
absolutely.
You're just staying right at home.
Hey, okay, it wasn't like comically bad, like
Okay.
choreographed,
Okay.
but no, it was just like very what you'd expect of like almost like a theater pop group kind of thing.
Okay.
And so we did enough to get by. We weren't really big on choreography, but when we went to ICCA, we had it there.
Right.
But
Right.
now when you're looking at groups today, what I've been seeing, it's like art. Like dance is always supposed to
Mm-hmm.
be art, but like back then, it just felt like they were just doing enough to get by. Now it really feels like there's been a true evolution in what groups are doing because it feels like it's meant for what they're singing versus like you're adding it on as like an afterthought.
Right.
So that's what
Right.
I love about groups today. They're like very meaningful, very intentional with what they're doing, what they're singing.
Not to say that we weren't.
No, oh no,
But I mean,
absolutely not.
I
Yeah,
would say the intention has stayed the same. But I
yeah.
think maybe this is just a thing with Gen Z. They are able to move
Hmm.
better while they're singing. Like I know for us,
Hmm.
if we had been doing some of the stuff that I saw these groups doing as far as movement goes, dance, I think it probably would have affected our sound significantly
Mm,
more than it did
yeah,
theirs. And
absolutely.
that's not to say that too much choreography is bad. I do think groups should still be aware of
Hmm.
like making sure that the sound quality is your priority. Um,
Yeah, you know what it is? I think back then, this is just my personal opinion. I think there was so much of a focus on the music and the singing that it
mhm.
left very little room in terms of choreography for like the whole performance. I think that's what groups are doing
Yeah.
today, that they get it. They really consider what the whole entire performance should be
Well,
versus, okay, let's make sure we just sound good.
Well, and it's like, so I'll use a little bit of, I mean, kind of, not really an analogy. I'm just, I guess it is kind of an analogy, comparing it to another activity that's not a cappella at all. Like, you know that
Hmm.
I did drum corps, like marching band,
Right,
when I
true.
was, I mean, many, many years ago. And standard band uniforms, like when we were in high school and college, the, like the fabric, like on the pants, they called them bibs, was really
Okay.
thick. It was almost kind of similar to like dress pants, but
Ooh, okay. I
it was
think I know
thick
what you mean.
fabric. But
Yeah.
nowadays, the activity like marching band and drum corps, those activities like the marching arts, it has
Hmm.
evolved so much to the point where they're incorporating more movement as far as visual things go. But
Question.
yeah,
So in terms, you said they used to wear dress pants. Are they still wearing dress pants now? What's going on with the
they're
situation?
still wearing pants, but they're
Oh,
more
thank
like
goodness.
they're
I'm
but
glad to hear that
but
at
they're
least.
closer to more spandex material to give them more range
Oh,
of movement. So that's
okay.
something that I thought was
Okay.
really neat. Another thing that I noticed at this concert was use of like background screens.
Mm,
So there was like a projector screen almost behind them the entire show,
wow.
and they
What's
had different images flashing across that or different designs while the groups were
mhm.
performing. I wish I could show you. I mean, I probably should have come here today with an example of this. I thought it was really cool. Now, I mean, Brian and I are clearly coming to you from space today, but I mean, it was kind of
Can't you tell
similar,
people? Hey,
except there was some movement that we saw
we're
going
trying to
on
take
those screens.
Talkappella global. That's what we're
Yeah,
doing
yeah,
here. So,
yeah.
but no. So when you were talking about, they have the projectors and stuff. You mean like they have like almost like a backdrop to
Yeah,
when they're
yeah,
like
it
that's
was very
okay.
much like a backdrop, but it was changing. So
Hmm.
I know like when I was in the group, we had big curtains in the back and they changed the lighting to make the curtains look different colors during
Yeah.
our performances. But no, this time they had full blown like giant projector screen, and it it just had different images going across it based on the song that they were doing.
Wow. So let me ask you a question.
Yeah.
So do you think that that would translate well to what a cappella groups can do today?
I think it could, as long as they have the resources available to do it. Now,
Okay.
BYU and Vocal Point, they're sponsored by BYU. They're part of Performing Arts Management. They have a lot of resources at their disposal,
Hmm.
whereas not all groups do. So I mean, this is not something for every a cappella group. Like
Right.
they also use in-ear monitors. They don't have the monitors at the front facing them, so they don't even use pitch
Okay.
pipes anymore.
Wow.
They
Dang, that's
have
fancy.
yeah, they have that starting note played for them in their in-ear monitors. And so I think that's
Mm.
something that, I mean, more semi-professional groups are moving towards.
Hmm.
But I do think that it's something that maybe we'll see more of in the future.
Yeah, and when I hear that, I think you also have to consider the groups and like what their style is, what their feel is, because I know a lot of groups that, they wouldn't really be up for the in-ear monitors. They wouldn't be
Right.
up for more fancier stuff. They just want to have their traditional art and just be able to, sway side to side while singing, and that just fits
So
them
Hitch.
perfectly. Exactly,
Yeah.
stay here, stay right here. That's all we're doing. We ain't going over here. We
You
ain't
stay
grabbing
home.
nothing off the top. Exactly. There you go. You know what I'm talking about. So
Oh.
I just feel like it really depends on the group. I think
No,
some
I agree
groups
with that.
they do well with evolving, and other groups they're like, this is who we are. This is who we
Well,
always will
and
be. We
there
love
are
it.
some groups that I don't think need to evolve. I mean, I think when we talk about like the evolution of a cappella,
Hmm.
I don't want it to sound like it has to like go big or go home.
Right.
So it doesn't necessarily have to be a ton of changes. It's not like we're singing old like classical music in a cappella,
Hmm.
and we can. That's not necessarily something that's wrong. It's like we
Yeah.
said, it depends on the group and kind
Absolutely.
of what their I mean, what works for one group won't work for another group. So it's
Yeah.
kind of catering your concert, your performances to the resources that you have available, which I think is just vital. And I think if you're trying to be something that you're not, that's not going to be helpful for you.
Yeah, absolutely. I would say if anything needs to always consistently be involved in their sound. I think that's
Oh, absolutely.
more important than
Yeah.
anything. Like it's a nice add-on if you want to add the choreography, the movement, the visuals kind of thing. I think audience will love it if your sound is great and then you do whatever you want to do in
Well,
terms of
and I
choreography.
think the complex choreography started, I think there was a more of a movement push towards it because of Pitch Perfect.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I
Because
agree.
all of what we saw on stage in those performances that were like performances. I mean, they were
Hmm.
ICCA, but it was a movie. It wasn't real life. Yeah.
That's true. To a
Yeah.
degree. Yeah.
Anyway, so just a couple things I've noticed: use of screens and more complex choreography. So, what do you got for
Yeah.
me?
All right, so I have quite the video for you today.
Okay.
So Alicia has never seen the video that
That you
she's
know
about to
of.
watch, to my knowledge.
That you
So we
know
got a
of.
little bit of a reaction
Okay.
video going on. So Alicia, at this point, if you will watch this upcoming video we have here, it is a group called Berywam. They are a
Okay.
French beatbox crew. They're made up of 4 former world beatbox
Oh,
champions, and what they
wow.
do in this video is insane. But also, they were also on America's Got Talent. So
Yeah, I see that. I see
I'm
that
going to
here.
shut up. I'm going to let you
Okay.
watch the video.
Okay.
Whoa, 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 whoa. Round one, fight!
I like it. That was really cool. Well, and
I'm like, I was trying so hard not to geek out like when I first saw that, but
it was really quick.
oh, yeah,
And that's a YouTube short, correct?
correct.
That's
That's
what
a
that
YouTube
was.
short.
Okay.
Right.
I thought it was very well done.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know if resonance is the right word to use for it. Like their sounds were so
Hmm.
crisp.
Yes.
And
I
like
think that's a good
when
point.
there was more than just a beat with it,
Hmm.
there was some resonance there, I feel like.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
And
Yeah,
it was
they
like
do
the
a
sound
great
was
job of
very
filming.
rich.
Yes.
It wasn't
Yeah,
like
no boots and cats with them.
no
No,
boots
no.
and cats. Yeah.
Beatbox champs.
Yeah. I
No.
actually did think it was a different group that you were going to show me.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm curious. What
I
group
thought it
did
was
you
Spider
think?
Horse.
Oh,
Yeah.
former guest, by the
Former
way,
guests. Yep.
but that's a good point.
Very,
No,
very good.
no, I've been a fan of like Berywam, like I said, since they came on America's Got Talent. Like I've been following their career ever since because they are great at consistently uploading content to YouTube, and they do a lot with just like modern music, like right now. So a lot of the
Which I think
songs,
is important for groups that are listening or groups,
absolutely,
even if they're not listening to us, groups that are performing. Um,
yeah,
like if I mean it's 2024. If
hmm,
you want to get a following, you got to be posting.
absolutely,
Yeah.
and that's what they do. They do a new video like every couple of days. But one of the real reasons why I love this and why I think it's so applicable to any other groups is because they are really they're performers at the end of the day. And so it's not about let me sing one song, let me move to the next one. That was like a little moment in their set. And it's not a full-blown song. It's like I think 30-40 second kind of situation. And it fills time, it's entertaining, they can bring the audience in. And I think this is what like groups need more of. Like
Oh
it's
yeah.
great to have your set list, but you need something to like hook the audience that's not just like this full-blown production, and make it fun, make it
Oh yeah.
funny, make it entertaining. That's what they do.
And they do a great job. One thing that I
Mhm.
really enjoyed watching was their interactions with each other. I
Yeah.
think one of the things that, because you want groups to connect with the audience, and
Mhm.
that's a given. If you're not connecting with your audience, they're not going to want to watch you.
Yep. Consider
But
done. Yep.
what
Hmm.
I especially like to see with a cappella groups is them interacting with each other.
Yeah.
Because if you're not having fun up there, it's
boring.
It's not gonna translate well to me as an audience or a judge.
No, the audience is going to absolutely like be able to pick up on whether or not you guys are enjoying what you're doing.
Yeah.
And I love that thought about interacting with one another, because I think a lot of groups, I was watching videos today, college groups, and a lot of times the only interaction I ever see is when one member is conducting and everybody else is looking at them. And I'm like, oh, stop it, please. Stop the conducting. Like, we don't want to see that. Yeah, give me a little bit more.
Can you imagine seeing that on stage at ICCA or ICHSA?
Oh, good Lord. Deduct all the points.
Wait, ICHSA?
ICH at, oh my goodness, we should know this. International Championship of High School Acapella.
ICHSA.
There we go. I can't believe we had to say the whole thing.
Is it Amanda Newman? I think that's her name.
Yeah, Amanda Newman.
She would not be happy with that.
Oh, good. Amanda, we apologize if you're watching this. Oh my goodness. But no, that would be like, I don't know what to say, but that'd be lame. That'd be absolutely lame if a group is up at the competition, just no.
I'm thinking
absolutely not.
it was a movie I watched recently with Miles Teller and what's his name? It was named after a song that they did, and it was like a jazz band. And he's up there conducting them the whole time. I mean, obviously not acapella. It was fantastic.
I take it. The movie's a good movie.
If I remember what it was, I'll message it to you later. So
Send it to me whenever you figure it out.
For sure.
But no, that's what I love about Berywam. I think that there's so much, whether you're a pro group, whether you're semi-pro, whether you're college, high school, you just need to take into consideration, how do we fill out a concert? There are so many unique things you can do instead of just sing 10 songs back to back and introduce them. Add a little bit of fun, add a little bit of creativity, do your beatbox battles, do your skits, whatever. I know a lot of groups, I think the Beelzebubs, they do a lot of skits in their shows and stuff. Do whatever, bring the people in.
And the reason people come to watch you is because they want to be entertained. Like they could go watch another acapella group, and you might think of that as like, oh well, this group's our competition. We don't want to do something on the same weekend as them because people will have to choose their show or ours. It's not just acapella groups that you're competing with. You're competing against entertainment in general. I could go watch this acapella group. I could go to the movies. I could do my nails at my house. I could stay at home and binge watch Netflix, or Hulu or whatever streaming service I'm looking or watching that night. Go on date night with my husband. Now I could go on date night with my husband to an acapella show.
That's a good idea.
So I mean, and we have done that in previous date nights. But it's recognizing you're not just in it for the music, although that is such a crucial portion of acapella. You're in it for people come watch you because they want to be entertained. And like you said, it's not just 10 songs back to back and introducing them. It's adding stuff in, adding personality. When I watch Noteworthy, it's like, who is Noteworthy? Because the group has evolved over the years. It's not, you wouldn't see the same things we talked about 10 years ago when I was in the group talked about today necessarily.
Yeah, and I think you brought up a good point, and this thought about why you decided to come to see the show tonight make me not regret coming to your show versus doing anything else tonight.
100%.
Make me have a good reason to be like, yes, thank you.
Seeing a group that is just kind of like womp womp, it's like, I spent money for that.
Thank you. That's the most important part. Yes. I paid for this.
And I'm not, however long the concert is, I'm not getting back that hour and a half of my life.
Nope. Time and money. That's what it comes down to.
There's just things that to be aware of when you're in an acapella group. So, I mean, I think that's a wrap on our first episode.
I think so. That first segment, I think we got it.
I think we got it. Brian, it has been such a joy chatting with you tonight. Thank you for tuning in today. Thank you, Acaville, for giving us this platform to share all things acapella with our listeners. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Acaville Radio, Acaville TV. We are so grateful for them. And if you are looking forward to more content from us, stay tuned.